Ratio and rates. A ratio is a comparison of two quantities of the same kind, or units. A ratio can be written in three ways: as a fraction, in plain English, or using a colon. Notice that ratios are not typically written with units. The units within the working of the problem need to be clearly defined, since mathematically the units will cancel. Recall, anything divided by itself is 1. Since a ratio can be represented as a fraction, we must always ensure the final ratio, regardless of form, is completely simplified or reduced. Here are some common ratios we see in everyday life. I can guarantee we have all seen the most popular ratio on a daily basis, and that is the aspect ratio on your TV. The aspect ratio is the ratio between the width and the height of the screen. 4:3 is called your standard or full screen ratio. 16:9 is your widescreen or HD channels. 21:9 is your movies or cinematic ratio. This example shows three different television aspect ratios and how a 21:9 image will fit on screen. Notice when the aspect ratio of the television and image do not match, this causes the white bars or letterbox to appear on the screen. Anyone like sporting events? The Westgate Las Vegas Superbook has released an updated college football national championship odds for the 2016 season. According to Westgate, Alabama is the favorite to win it all at 5-1. We will see later in our statistics module that the ratio of 5-1 indicates that for every $1 bet, you could win $5 if Alabama wins the national championship. A rate is a ratio between two measurements with different units. Typically, the second, or unit in the denominator, is a unit of time. Here are some of the more common rates in everyday life. How about understanding the fuel efficiency of your car in miles per gallon? How about the rate in which you travel in that car in miles per hour? And finally, how about the amount you've earned working a part-time job in dollars per hour? A unit rate is when rates are expressed as a quantity of 1, such as traveling 50 miles per hour on the highway on your way to school. To remember what it means to be a unit rate, think about asking yourself the question, how much for just 1? Let's take a look at the following price tag for Spartan spaghetti. For $1.99, you can get 16 ounces of spaghetti. But how much for just 1 ounce? Simply by setting up the rate of dollars per ounce, we can see that $1.99 for 16 ounces is equivalent to 12 cents per ounce. We arrive at this unit rate by dividing the top value by the bottom. Remember, with rates, the units will be different, thus they will remain in the final solution. On most consumer items, the unit rate is given. Be especially careful when reading units, as we see here, units have changed from dollars to cents when finding the unit rate. This is common practice when the cost for a single item is less than $1. Finding the unit rate can be very helpful when making purchasing decisions, especially if you are looking to purchase multiples of a single item or make a comparison between similar items of different size. Let's take a look at the first example, purchasing multiples of the same item. A 12-pack of Gatorade costs $13.44. Is it cheaper to buy Gatorade from the vending machine for $1.25 per bottle? Which purchasing decision would be best? If it costs $13.44 for 12 bottles, we can find the unit rate, or the cost for one bottle of Gatorade, by simply dividing the two quantities. We see the 12-pack has a lower unit cost of $1.12 per bottle, while the vending machine bottles cost $1.25. But this is not the only way to arrive at the same conclusion. We can also consider the total cost. From the vending machine, $1.25 will give you one bottle. If we were to purchase 12 individual bottles, our total cost would be $15. The 12-pack is still the cheaper option at a total cost of $13.44 compared to a total cost of $15 if we were to purchase the 12 individual bottles. While we came to the same conclusion that the 12-pack is the better deal, we need to be careful and ensure we answer the question. Finding the unit rate is specifically comparing the cost of just one item. Jessica is looking to purchase some shampoo and finds two different options of her favorite, Argan Oil of Morocco. The small bottle holds 13 ounces and retails for $7.99, while the larger bottle holds 24.5 ounces and retails for $15.99. Assuming Jessica can afford either bottle, which one is the better deal? Disregard sales tax for now. In order to make a valid comparison, we must be looking at the same quantity of the product. This is easily accomplished by first finding the unit rate of each product and then making our comparison for the best deal. Let's consider the small bottle first. The small bottle is priced at $7.99 for 13 ounces of product. This equates to about 62 cents per ounce. We round in this case because fractions or decimals of a cent are not used in everyday society. Now let's consider the larger bottle. The larger bottle retails for $15.99 but holds 24.5 ounces. The large bottle is priced at about 65 cents per ounce. Therefore, the most bang for your buck would actually be the smaller bottle, priced at about 62 cents per ounce compared to the larger bottle's 65-cent cost per ounce. Something to think about for the forum discussion this week. Can you think of any reason to purchase the larger, more expensive item? Let's take a look at some more examples of unit rate. Density is generally used to describe compactness or crowding, and the precise units depend on the context. Population density is given by the number of people per unit area. The country with the highest population density is Monaco, where approximately 38,000 people live in an area of 1.95 square kilometers. What is the population density of Monaco? To compute the population density, divide the country's population by its area. You will be finding a unit rate, the amount of people per square kilometer. 38,000 people divided by 1.95 square kilometers, we see that the population density of Monaco is approximately 19,487 people per square kilometer. In this case, it makes sense to round our solution because decimal or fractional pieces do not make sense. Pay attention to the blue directions in MyMathLab to help identify whether or not the solution should be rounded or to what decimal place to round. Converting between currencies is a unit conversion problem in which the conversion factors are known as the exchange rates. At a French department store, the price for a pair of jeans is 85 euros. What is the price in US dollars? Use the numbers in the dollars per foreign column to convert from foreign currency to US dollars. We use the unit conversion factor where American dollars are in the numerator and euros are in the denominator so that they cancel out appropriately. Multiplying straight across, we see the price of 85 euros is equivalent to $89.93. You are on holiday in Mexico and need cash. How many pesos can you buy with 100 American dollars? Ignore transaction fees. Use the numbers in the foreign per dollar column to convert from US dollars into foreign currency. We begin with $100. In order for the units of American dollars to cancel out, they must appear in the denominators, and the new unit of pesos must appear in the numerator. Multiplying straight across, we see that our 100 American dollars will buy 2,186 Mexican pesos. Your hotel rate in Tokyo is 45,000 yen per night. What is the nightly rate in US dollars? Use the exchange rate on the next slide to help you figure out the appropriate unit conversion factor before moving to the solution on the following slide. Use the numbers in the dollar per foreign column to convert from foreign currency to US dollars. We have 45,000 yen. In order for yen to cancel out, those units must appear in opposite parts of the fraction. Multiplying straight across, we see that your hotel in Tokyo costs you $389.61 per night.